कृष्णं जगद्गुरु पादपद्मे तयो श्रित्वा प्रणमामि मुहुर्मुहुः प्रणमामि मुहुर्मुहुः।
The Gospel of the Holy Mother Sri Sarada Devi. Reminiscences and conversations recorded by Swami Arupananda. Place Udbodhan. Year 1912. It was in the morning. I was seated near the Holy Mother. Soon we were engaged in conversation. Arupananda: Mother, sometimes I see you reading the Ramayana. When did you learn to read? Mother: Sometimes I used to accompany the other children to the village school. There I learnt a little. Later on, Lakshmi and I used to read the Bengali primer at Kamarpukur. My nephew, Hridoy, snatched the book away from me. He said, "Women should not learn to read and write. Are you preparing yourselves in this way to read novels and dramas later on?" But Lakshmi did not give up the book. She belonged to the family. Therefore, she held on to her book. I too secretly had a copy bought for 1 anna. Lakshmi used to attend the village school. On returning home, she would teach me. But I really improved my capacity to read only long after at the Kineshwar. The master, Mother is referring to Sri Ramakrishna, was staying then at Shyampukur for treatment. I was all alone. A girl belonging to the family of Bhava Mukherjee used to come to the temple garden to bathe in the Ganges. Now and then, she would spend a long time with me. She used to give me lessons and afterwards examine me. And in return, I would give her a large quantity of grains, vegetables, and other articles of food that were sent to me from the temple garden. Disciple: Mother, did the master visit Jairambati often or just once or twice? Mother: He visited many times. Sometimes he even stayed there for 10 or 12 days. Whenever he would visit Kamarpukur, he also visited Jairambati, Shihor, and other places. He once fed the village cowherd boys at Shihor. Disciple: When was this? During the period of his sadhana or later on? Mother: It was later on. During the period of sadhana, he was filled, as it were, with terrible divine madness. Had he visited his father-in-law's place then, all would have stamped him as insane. When Shiva visited his father-in-law's house, all began lamenting. Oh, dear Uma, great indeed has been your misfortune. You have at last fallen into the company of this hemp addict. Ah, in those days, after the marriage, the things they spoke about the master, alas, a mad son-in-law, what will happen now, and so on. Arupananda: Many devotees used to visit the master. Where are they now? None of them comes to see you. Mother: Oh, They are all leading happy lives. Disciple, what? Happy? Mother, you are right. How can a man be happy in this world with his wife and children? They have forgotten themselves in women and gold. Everything in the world results in suffering after all. Disciple, besides, the mind has outgoing propensities. Mother, Kali, the mother of the universe, is the mother of all. It is she alone who has begotten both good and evil. Everything has come out of her womb. You know, there are different kinds of perfect souls. Perfect from very birth, Swata Siddha. Perfect through spiritual disciplines, Sadhana Siddha. Perfect through the grace of teacher, Kripa Siddha. And made perfect all of a sudden, Hatat Siddha. Disciple, what is the meaning of made perfect all of a sudden? Mother, it is just like becoming wealthy suddenly by inheriting the riches of another. Just then, Nalini, the mother's niece, entered the room after a bath in the Ganges. Finding the water closet a little dirty, she had washed it with a few pots of water and hence had taken bath in the Ganges for purification. The disciple and the mother opined that she would have taken bath under the tap water. Nalini, how is that enough? A water closet? Mother, I too had to purify myself for coming into contact with filth on several occasions. But I only chanted the name of Govinda a few times and felt pure. The mind is everything. It is in the mind alone that one feels pure and impure. A man, first of all, must make his own mind guilty, then alone he can see another man's guilt. Does anything ever happen to another if you enumerate his faults? It only injures you. This has been my attitude from my childhood. Hence, I can't see anybody's fault. If a man does a trifle for me, I try to remember him even for that. To see the fault of others? No, one should never do it. I never do so. Forgiveness is tapasya. Forgiveness is austerity. Arupananda. Swami Vivekananda used to say, suppose a thief entered the house and stole something. The idea of thief would suddenly flash in your mind. But a baby has no such idea. Therefore, it would not see anyone as a thief. Mother, that is true indeed. He who has a pure mind sees everything pure. One could be born with pure mind if one had performed many austerities and spiritual practices in a previous birth. Disciple, Mother, my mind does not feel joy in doing japa or spiritual practices. Mother, smilingly, why? Not a little even? Disciple, oh, I do a little, rather half-heartedly. The next moment I think, what is the use of mumbling? Let me rather try meditation. Mother, can you meditate? Arupananda. No, I cannot do even that. I understand everything, but I cannot practice it at all and get peace. One may know the road to the Kineshwar very well, but can one walk all the way? Meanwhile, Lalit Babu entered the room and saluted the mother. They became engaged in conversation. the disciple joining in it now and then. Mother, the master used to say, the way is extremely difficult, like the sharp edge of a razor. After a little pause, but he has kept you in his arms. He is looking after you. Lalit, the master will take us in his arms after death. Is there anything great in that? If he would only do so while we are in this body. Mother, he is holding you in his arms even in this body. He is above your head. Truly, he is holding you. Disciple, does he really hold us? Are you telling the truth? Mother, firmly, yes, really. The mother finished the morning worship and distributed prasada in sal leaves to the devotees. Then she swept the room. As she took the dirt in her hand, a pin entered her little finger. The finger bled, and the mother suffered terribly from pain. As soon as the disciple heard about it, he ran upstairs. Someone asked him to apply hot lime. That greatly relieved the pain. The mother said affectionately, "My child, you are my own. Truly, you all are my very own."
यथाग्नेर्दाहिका शक्ति रामकृष्णे स्थिता हिया यथाग्नेर्दाहिका शक्ति रामकृष्णे स्थिता हिया सर्वविद्या स्वरूपां तां शारदां प्रणमाम्यहम् शारदां प्रणमाम्यहम् शारदां प्रणमाम्यहम्